That
at
motherfucker
17
clinically insane. Look at his ass. Dead behind eyes.
years of age, shot and killed his father
Boy.
and got away with it,
How crazy.
and stabbed his mother in the neck so hard that the knife went all the way through and was
No.
to the back of her neck,
Oh, wow.
and she died there.
Oh, my God. Here we go again. How y'all doing today, man? On Breezy family. So on Breezy, it's Life Too Easy. Come at y'all live, yet another goddamn reaction video. Psychopath, Florida teen, murdered his mom a year after killing his dad. Year after killing dad, if you want me to say it exactly. Sheriff, I don't understand that quotation. I don't even understand how that makes sense, but okay, we finna get into this video, man. I'm just trying to put it out there. If I have kids, I'll be damned if my kids try to kill me. I love my kids, but it's either gonna be me or you, and it ain't gonna be me. Okay, I don't know why you keep seeing headlines with people killing their parents. Like, what is this, like, bro? And I don't understand why parents are not. Look at this. I don't care if he autistic and he got that autistic strength. I'm not going out like that. I don't care. You gonna have to sneak me, okay? You gonna really have to plan it out, because I'm trying to tell you, I sleep with one eye open. I'm not playing, but we finna get into this video right now. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Let's do it.
A cold-blooded murder.
Like, no, bro, I wouldn't even be able to, I would haunt you forever. You kill me a year later, kill my wife, kill your mom. For what? And look, I don't care if you go to jail. I'll haunt you in jail. Look, I'll whisper to somebody in their ear to take you out. You're not my son after you kill me. Let alone you killed your sister, bro. I don't give a damn who you kill. Look, if you even got thoughts of that, you better think twice. I promise it's not gonna be good.
9-year-old mother by her 17-year-old son.
Wait, hold on.
A cold-blooded murder of a 39-year-old mother by her 17-year-old son.
And if that wasn't shocking enough, a teenager accused of murdering his mom, the sheriff says he also killed his father.
When you look at this, you see a kid. When I look at him, I see a psychopath.
I have the chilling details from the murder of Kathy Griffith and the arrest of her son, Colin Griffith, for the crime. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Just when you think you've heard it all, a case like Colin Griffith's comes up, and it's had my jaw on the floor for hours now. I've been going through the case, and it's absolutely unbelievable. Colin is a 17-year-old who was starting college early. His mom, Kathy Griffith, had posted photos on Instagram just last month, bragging about that major accomplishment. She said Colin had already earned 18 college credits. That's no small feat. Colin and his mom, they look really happy in the photos. She even bought him a new car for graduation.
Bought him a car.
Kathy Griffith was very proud of her son. She bragged about him on Instagram all of the time. Just last month, she posted a photo of him and talked about how he was going to college. That was on August 20th. Then Sunday night, in Polk County, Florida, which is in between Tampa and Orlando, the sheriff says they got a 911 call from Colin. Here's Sheriff Grady Judd.
It all started on September the 8th, which was this last Sunday, when we got a 911 call from Colin Griffith, who's 17 years of age.
Oh.
And here's what he said. He said he and his
Okay.
mother had a very long fight, and she fell on a knife and killed herself. And she's bleeding from the neck. He didn't say she killed herself, said he's bleeding from the neck.
It's not funny.
The death of Kathy Griffith is an absolute tragedy, but I'm able to tell you about it here on Crime Fix because of sponsors like Morgan & Morgan.
Hey, and look, I'm not saying that she might have fell on a knife. That could have happened. We don't know if there's no camera footage in there. Look, who's to say that really did happen or that didn't happen? You never know. But if you already if they said that you killed your dad a year before and then somehow you got into a long argument or a long fight with your mom and she fell on the knife and killed herself, okay, yeah, I'm gonna believe that dumbass shit. Look, I don't understand why. I don't understand how these people are. I don't know if it's just the way you're brought up, or I don't know if it's the way you was. How do I say it? I don't know if it was the way your parents, raised you and they introduced you to something and they didn't really realize what they was doing. And then all of a sudden you just turn crazy. I don't know. I just like to give everybody a benefit of the doubt. I don't really think that a lot of people are just crazy. I feel like there's a reason behind it. You feel me? So I'm not just gonna say he's crazy, but you killed both your parents. I don't know about you. By the age of 17, boy, ain't even hit 18 yet.
They did, telling him what to do to try to help save his mom's life. Then deputies arrived.
He met the deputies outside, and he was calm, cool, collected, not upset, and he had blood on him. What we found inside was this knife. This knife is 12 inches long, and of the 12 inches, 8 inches of that is the blade. So he's saying that his mother fell on this knife.
That is a huge, huge knife.
Yeah,
Of course, the medical examiner performed an autopsy on Kathy Griffith. This is what the sheriff said the ME found.
The next morning at the medical examiner's office and the autopsy, the medical examiner said it is not reasonable or plausible that she died the way that he said she did. Just didn't happen. There were witnesses outside the mobile home that actually saw Colin drag his mother into the house by the hair on her head.
Would you look at that?
Colin is about 6 foot and 160 pounds.
Can you imagine? Neighbors told deputies they saw Colin dragging his mom into the house by her hair. That's terrifying. And the sheriff said that Colin told the 911 call takers that they had had a long fight. Sheriff Judd said that Colin Griffith had moved to Florida with his mom.
I'd be damned if my kid killed me looking like this, bony as hell. Y'all can say I'm bony looking. I got some weight on me. All right, I'm trying to tell you. And by the time I'm a dad, well into my 30s, 40s, I'm telling you, I'm cool being this. I'm like what, 170? I might be adding on a couple pounds, but still, you feel me? I'm around there. I'll be damned if my kid killed me, because at that point when I'm a dad, I'm gonna really put some weight on, because it's like I don't want to be all big right now. I feel like I'm cool with just a little slim, lean look. But once I get into my 30s, 40s, I want to be around like, let's say like 200, 230, something like that. I want to have some strength on, you feel me? So I highly doubt, and don't get me wrong, muscles ain't gonna stop you from getting killed, but I guarantee you, having some weight on you gonna stop a nigga from trying you. Not everybody, but it's gonna slow it up a little bit. So I doubt that my son looking like this, you gonna have to shoot me. And plus, I'm not, look, I always tell myself I've never been shot, and I do not plan on getting shot. Thank you, Lord. Please, let's prevent that. But if I get shot, hey, I'm not letting myself go on that first shot. You're gonna have to do it a couple times, because I'm saying, if he's really tweaking like that, he had to be like, I want to know how the dad got killed, first of all. But you dragged your mom by her hair. You talking about 12-inch knife, 8 of it is the blade, and she fell on it. You said, how she fall on the whole 8 inches? Unless that motherfucker just standing up straight. How you fall on it? Like, no. You obviously had to stab her. And for you to be stabbing your mom, that's what I'm saying. I want to know how the dad got killed, because if you're gonna do that, I don't know what you did with him, but I'm trying to tell you, when I have kids, this is why you gotta strike fear into your kids, okay? And even that don't work. They might want to stand up to you one day. That's why you gotta sit them down, all right? Sorry, I feel sneezing.
Mom in March of last year. This was a month after Colin had been charged with murdering his father, Charles, in Lincoln County, Oklahoma.
Colin said that his dad pulled a knife on him, and he shot and killed his dad.
I just say,
That's right.
I knew he had to
his
shoot him.
His father was named Charles. He shot him once in the chest and once in the head, and he claimed self-defense. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office and the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigations charged Colin with murder in the first degree.
How's he out?
They dropped the charges less than a month later.
Jesus.
They said they could not disprove Colin's assertion of self-defense. So he was released.
So the charges were dropped against Colin in Oklahoma.
I guarantee you, if it was a black man that did that, I'm not even trying to make it a race thing, but let's just be real. They not dropping the charges, but black man killed his father, because they gonna really believe he did that. They looking at it like, no, he looks so nice. He just like a little, I'm not gonna say, well, I'm not gonna say that. He just so, they be like, he was always a good kid. He wouldn't hurt anybody. And he killed both his parents because y'all just let him out. Now, what you think? Look, what do you think the dad would have said if he had survived? No, lock that bitch up, okay? Keep him away, or I'm gonna kill him at dance over. I brought him into this world. He tried to kill me. Man, look, that's where I'm coming.
And he moves to Florida to live with his mom in Charlotte County in March of last year. Charlotte County is about 2 hours south of Colin's grandma's house in Polk County.
You would think things would be better. He would be really, really lucky that, hey, this was a self-defense and I'm here with mom.
So you done had 2 self-defense charges against both 2 self-defense instances against both your parents. But that's not what you described with your mom. So let's see what you said with her.
Later. 6 months later.
6 months? Hold on.
He's Baker acted. So it's September, and as he's getting out of the original Baker Act, he makes a statement that, well, I'll kill myself, or I'll kill my mother by shooting or stabbing her. Charlotte County re-Baker Acts him the same exact day. They keep him 3 more days.
The Baker Act allows a person to be held for 72 hours for a mental health evaluation. Now, fast forward to November of 2023.
Colin then is arrested for domestic violence on his mother. And the reason he battered his mother is because she was disciplining him and took his video game privileges away.
Of course.
So he beat up his mother.
Oh. It's not funny, but it's just ground, like, what?
And he stomped on her. The grandmother was there and witnessed this. Colin said, it was self-defense. She made me do it. The grandmother said, no, no, no. Your mother did not provoke this at all. You simply were being disciplined and made to give up your game because of failure to carry out what you should, empty the garbage, wash the dishes, whatever.
Because there ain't no man in the house because he done killed him, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Look, if there was a man in the house, there wouldn't be nothing like this going on, but he had to eliminate him, okay? If he hadn't eliminated him, this probably wouldn't have happened.
They gave him to do. He claims self-defense when he stomped his mama, but he went to jail anyway.
So this is November of 2023, and Sheriff Judd says Colin went to jail for what he did to his mom then. Then in February of this year, Sheriff Judd said his office got a call about Colin Griffith.
He has an argument with his mother, and he runs away from Charlotte County and comes back to Auburndale to his grandmother's house. Now, his grandmother's not there. And we got involved in this on the 12th of February, and the mother said, and the grandmother said, hey, we don't feel safe with him around. So our deputies who found him up here as a missing persons reported in Charlotte County turned him over to DCF. 2 days later, on the 14th of February, the anniversary of him killing his dad a year ago, he's reunited with his mother by DCF. Colin made the statement that I don't want to go home. I'll use any force necessary to avoid it, to include killing my mother. So that's the second time he threatened to kill his mother.
See, so why? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not taking his side. If he done said he gonna kill the mom twice, why do y'all let him still? Why is he still able to live with the mom? Why did the mom bring him in? If my child told me he gonna kill me twice, he told me twice more than I need to hear it. Okay, I would already sent something off of his ass. I'm like, yeah, you ain't coming back here, and if you try to come back here, I'm gonna kill you. Look, it's my life. You're crazy. Like what?
2 weeks.
I don't understand why it's like y'all like to ignore when they're telling you Oh, I'm going to kill you. He literally said it twice.
Later, so they didn't make him go home on the 14th. But on about 2 weeks later, in March of 2024, they reunite Colin with his mother again. Everybody's calmed down.
So that's March of this year. And in May, Colin graduated from high school. His mom was really proud of him, as most moms would be. She was posting photos on Instagram of him and his
Okay. But look, don't get me wrong. Like, I can understand, like, okay, that's your kid. That's your child. Like, you raised them. They wasn't always acting like this. So you might be looking at it like, okay, like that's not naturally him. Maybe he's going through something and he just really does not know how to take it out. That still ain't okay. I'd be damned if my kid tell me he gonna kill me. You better really watch it. Because the first time you tell me that, now I'm on edge and I'm watching you for real. Like, you not even my kid. I'm just be watching your ass at the dinner table. Like, what you gonna do with that knife? Because I'm not playing, bro. I'm playing with my life. But I'm saying, like, I could see if they're looking at it like, okay, you know, let's bring him back in, see if we can help him out, and then, you know, try to put him on the right track. I definitely see it from that standpoint. But it just didn't go that way.
And gown. And as I mentioned earlier, she actually bought him a car as a gift.
Damn.
Colin even received letters from members of Congress congratulating him about graduating from high school. And photos on that Instagram showed that they spent the 4th of July holiday weekend in Washington, D.C., and even went on a tour of the White House. Then on September 6th, Sheriff Judd said Kathy Griffith and Colin had an argument, and he took off for his grandma's house in Polk County.
He flees from his mother's house again and comes up to his grandmother's house. Grandmother's not there. She's in the Keys.
She's in the what? In the Keys.
So then mom lets the event calm down, and she tells her son, hey, you need to come home. And she asks him to come home and face his responsibility. Colin says, I'm not coming back home. That was September the 7th. So now we're to the fateful day on September 8th. Mom drives up here to Auburndale from Charlotte County. She arrives at 4 o'clock. At about 4:30, witnesses and neighbors see Colin and Mom arguing outside, and Colin grabs his mother by the hair and drags her into the house. Just about 2 hours later, that's when we receive a 911 call where Colin said, I've had a very, very long fight with Mom, and she fell on a knife and she's bleeding from the neck.
The sheriff says witnesses heard Kathy Griffith telling her son, let me go. Colin Griffith is charged with first-degree murder, kidnapping, and violation of a no-contact order. Sheriff Judd talked about what Colin Griffith said when deputies arrived at his grandmother's house following his 911 call.
Had he gone to live with his grandmother at the end of this and she crossed him, she would be next.
Oh, Granny would have been out.
He's violent.
Granny would have been gone.
He's dangerous.
Ooh.
He showed zero remorse. Zero remorse when he was being interviewed. In fact, when we attempted the interview, he met the original deputy in the front yard. And he didn't say, Mom's in here, Mom's bleeding to death, Mom needs help. He looked the deputy in the eye and says, I know my rights, I want an attorney.
I'll let him go.
Zero emotion about, hurry up, help Mom, she's bleeding, she's got a problem. He is a dangerous human being.
Sadly, a day before Kathy Griffith died, she posted on Instagram, that old familiar body ache, the snaps from the same little breaks in your soul. You know when it's time to go. Sometimes giving up is the strong thing. Now, of course, we don't know if that post had anything to do with her son, and we may never know. But this wasn't like her other posts, which were incredibly upbeat. Sheriff Judd summed up his thoughts on the case this way.
When you look at this, you see a kid.
I don't see one.
When I look at him, I see a psychopath.
I don't see no damn
totally
kid.
Erratic behavior. To the point that he's already
that motherfucker clinically insane. Look at his ass, dead behind the eyes.
Years of age, shot and killed his father.
Boy.
And got away with it.
How crazy.
And stabbed his mother in the neck so hard that the knife went all the way through and was to the back of her neck.
Oh, wow.
And she died there. He's being charged with first-degree murder, obviously, and we're asking the state attorney's office, it's their decision, but our state attorney's office is the greatest, to prosecute him as an adult.
And Sheriff Judd said he's actually been in touch with the sheriff's office in Oklahoma, telling them they may want to take a second look at the death of Colin's father. Dr. Daniel Bober is a forensic psychiatrist, and he really specializes in issues with kids. I am confounded by this case, Dr. Bober.
Yes, it's really disturbing. And when you consider the fact that he had a similar event with his father just a year prior to that, it sort of boggles the mind how something like this could happen again.
Most certainly. And mom, it sounds like, had gone out to Omaha and had picked up her son. He was on bail, GPS bracelet, the whole 9 yards. They determine out there that they can't prove that he didn't act in self-defense in killing his father. She takes him in, and then somewhere along the way, he is, put into the hospital under the Baker Act. So mom obviously knew her son was having some issues. We don't really have any insight into what those issues are at this point, but we do know that he was accused of some acts of violence against her, had been seen, grabbing her, pulling her hair, things of that nature. This is really terrifying stuff.
This is why you need to instill fear into your kids. I'm not saying beat them. I'm not saying do all that, but you got to do something to make them fear you. Because if they don't, they going to do stuff like this. They think they can just kill you. Like, it ain't going to be nobody talking about, I want a lawyer, I know my rights. Boy, you crazy to say some stuff like that. You just killed your mom and your dad, bro. I don't know how. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if I know he having problems like that, he ain't staying at home with me. Me and my wife having a talk. Hey, that motherfucker going to the asylum. I ain't staying here with him. His ass, no. Because just for stuff like this, maybe I'm asleep, and my wife go downstairs just go get something in the middle of the night. She hungry. Okay. I just hear screaming. He down there with strangling her on the ground. I didn't know because I was asleep. Or maybe I'm too late. Now I gotta kill his ass because you just messed up my whole
It's something I see all the time. I see parents.
Really?
I do. I see parents
crazy.
All the time with kids who are very aggressive and violent towards them. But maternal instincts are very strong, and they want to believe in them. And they would literally lay down their life to protect their child, and that even means to their own detriment. So this is not so hard to believe for me. But if you look at this young man and you look at his history of violence, I mean, the greatest risk factor is his prior history of violence. But we don't know more than that. We don't know if he was diagnosed with any number of mental disorders, if he was using substances, if he had a history of trauma. The sheriff referred to him as a psychopath, but I think it's more complicated. It's more nuanced than that. Psychopaths are people who are cold. They lack empathy. They manipulate people. It's not a formal diagnosis in what we call the DSM-5. Someone who is 17 years old might have a diagnosis of what we call conduct disorder, where they violate societal norms, and then when they turn 18, it becomes antisocial personality disorder. But I think there's still a lot of very significant unanswered questions here.
A lot of questions. I mean, we don't know if he was receiving medication. I mean, we do know, though, that he was placed in the hospital under the Baker Act. So mom knew, obviously, something was going on. And I'm a mom. I mean, you want to do everything you can to help your kids. And I don't think that we are naturally equipped to deal with mental health issues and whatever was going on with him. We really don't know what was going on in his mind.
BreezyLife is we gonna solve the mental issues quick. You either get out or you better fix them up, okay? And look, I'm just joking because I know mental health in the Black community is definitely it's a serious thing. It's just, people just blow over. They don't really, address it, and then stuff like this will happen, But I don't think, you see, there are definitely Black people out there killing their parents or killing their, it either be like Black people killing their girlfriend, killing their wife, or killing like their girlfriend's mom, killing the girlfriend's family. But I don't really think you see a lot of Black people kill their parents. But still, mental health, I think that's definitely in our community and just in general, it's definitely overlooked. You feel me? So I'm just joking when I say stuff like that, but at the same time, I'm not like, if I see that going on, I'm not just ignoring it. And I'm just gonna act like, oh, he'll get better over time. No. And if he does, that's great, but I'm taking action until that happens. Until I start seeing some improvement, and then I'm gonna still be side-eyeing his ass. Or her. It could be any of them. But I'm just looking at it, in this instance, it's a man, so, or a boy, whatever you want to call him. But yeah, bro. I mean, like, if he had some mental issues going on, and the mom was just she still had him living there, and then she just on some, you know, he gonna get better, or let me try to help him myself. I mean, you're being a mom, so I'm not saying you're doing the wrong thing, but you just never know. Like, it might be farther than he's too far gone. You never know. But the thing is, you don't know. Like, you might be really trying to help him, and the whole time he over here, like, he not hearing nothing you talking about. It's just not clicking for him. So ends in something like this. So it's crazy, man.
Mind, but I went on Mom's social media, Kathy Griffith's social media, and it's just amazing to me. We have the mugshot and the picture of this knife that he claims his mother fell on. And then we have all of these photos that I found on social media. They spent the July 4th weekend in Washington, D.C. They went to a tour of the White House. He graduated early and was headed to college early. He went into college with 18 credits already under his belt. So he's a smart kid. He has to have some level of intelligence. She even bought him a brand new car for graduating early. So Mom is trying to, I mean, everything looks happy on social media. This is like the danger of social media.
That sound like, to me, she's trying to get on his good side and know his ass crazy.
So everything looks good on social media.
I call it the Facebook
Things
fallacy.
were not good.
Right. The Facebook fallacy. People always portray their best life on Facebook, but so many people we know are suffering, and that's just not the reality. This is someone who obviously has trouble regulating themselves, managing their emotions, and can act out aggressively. It seems like in both these situations, it probably wasn't something that he planned out, although we don't know that for sure. But it seems like he is someone that goes from 0 to 100 in just a second and just boils over. So I would be curious to know what his mental health history is.
The sheriff said that, you know, he had become angry, and I guess every parent can relate to this. Mom took away his video games at one point. I mean, they argued about chores. These are things that are pretty common that parents and kids argue about. So you talk about the boiling over. I mean, these are normal everyday things that parents squabble with their kids about and tell them, get off the video games. I mean, it's unbelievable to me. And then the stuff with Dad out in another state, killing Dad, and being told, oh, well, we don't have the evidence to prove that it wasn't self-defense. Do you think they go back and look at that case again? I mean, if they didn't have the evidence to say it wasn't self-defense then, could they get any evidence now that it wasn't? It's unbelievable to me.
You know, it's very difficult. I mean, they might have to take a second look at that first case. But, you know, I admitted a kid in the emergency room yesterday who, again, had a history of bipolar disorder, was 17 years old, destroyed the house, trashed the house. Mom brought him in because she was afraid of him, and he is now hospitalized under the Baker Act.
Where's Dad?
So I get this. I see this all the time.
Do you see whatever? I just feel like whenever you hear about some kid just going crazy in the house and he just can't control himself, it always a single mom. Because I guarantee you, if it's a strong, masculine man in that household, then ain't none of that going to be going on. And if it is, it's going to be cut short quick. Because I promise you, I did not work my whole life to protect or like to provide for my wife and my kid who you are. And all of a sudden, you just grow up and get mad at me and start having, you know, I'm not saying the mental problems came out of nowhere, but maybe, I don't know, maybe something happened to you, a traumatic event that just, you know, you just spiraled and now you're here. Anything could happen. But I did not put in this much work. For you, for me to have a kid and all of a sudden I just cannot contain this kid and they just feel like they can just go around my house and do whatever. I'm going to tell you right now that's not happening either of you. You're going to stay here and that shit going to stop, or you're going to leave and you just going to your life up, and it is what it is, because that's your decision. Because at a certain point, you know, I'm doing what I can do. Because look, this is my first life too. Well, in a sense. You know, people, I feel like I believe in reincarnation, so it's in a sense. So this is my first life living Breezy Life's life. You feel me? This is my first time. So I'm learning stuff too. I can't just be going through this acting like I just know everything and I can tell you everything, but I can help you out. I've experienced some stuff. You know, that's what I would be thinking at that point in my life. Now, like, I don't know why you think, I don't know why. Like, as a kid, I remember if my mom took away my game or something like that, I would get mad. I ain't gonna try to kill her though, because I know, like, if I was trying to do that, my dad would probably step in and that would not be nothing I want to happen. I remember one time I had kicked my dad and he punched me in the forehead. After that, hey, you got it, bro. I understand what type of time we on. But this is what I'm saying. If you have a masculine man in the household, and I'm not going to say that's going to solve it, but I'm pretty sure most times that would stop it, okay? Because that masculine man probably came up in a household where his dad was acting that way too. He was masculine, so he knows not to step over that boundary. See what I'm saying? I feel like when stuff like this happens, it's because either the son can see that the dad is not as strong, either the dad is like big, he out of shape, he know he can take the dad, or there's no dad at all. Feel me? But trust me, when there's a strong masculine man right there that's leading his family, you know, his wife and his kids, and everything's good, and you know, like that, I don't feel like stuff like this happens. Now, of course, you have, you know, outliers, or, you know, that's not the right word, but you just have situations that are, you know, here and there, come here and there. But I don't feel like that would happen, you know, if you got a masculine man in the household.
Kids, there just isn't that ceiling. They will attack their parents. They will kill their parents.
No, he won't.
And even if they've attempted to kill their parents before, their parents will take them back, because those instincts to protect the child are very strong. Even if you have to put yourself in harm's way. And it's very frustrating as a mental health professional to see parents who do that, who are literally willing to put their life at risk. But it's something I see all the time.
A lot of people might not be familiar with the Baker Act, but it allows for like a temporary hospitalization of somebody with mental health issues. So how long can somebody be held under the Baker Act? And do the hospital officials then just determine, okay, we've been able to stabilize this person in this way, so they're going to be released now? How does that work?
So the Baker Act is an involuntary 72-hour hold. If at the time of the expiration of the Baker Act, we as mental health professionals determine that the patient is not stable, we can then petition the court by getting the opinion of a second psychiatrist for more time. And very often that is the case. And a case like this is probably one where that would occur.
Wow. So he's 72 hours involuntary hold, then he's back out, presumably going to school. I mean, how does a kid who apparently has been hospitalized under the Baker Act then go, and he's apparently graduating early from high school with 18 credits under his belt? It's confounding to me, because obviously he's got some level of intelligence.
Yes, he does. But, you know, emotional regulation and intelligence aren't necessarily correlated. I meet very, very intelligent kids who have multiple hospitalizations. You know, they've trashed the house, they've beat up their parents, they've attacked other kids at school, but they have very high IQs. So one doesn't necessarily correlate with the other.
How common is it for kids to be beating up their parents or becoming violent with their parents? Because
I don't feel like I have to watch this part because they've already explained what happened, man. So, I mean, we only got like a minute left, so I'm just keep on.
This is a kid who was charged with this last year. So this is somebody who has a history, according to law enforcement, of being violent with his mom.
Again, I think we have to look at what were the precipitating factors, what were the triggers. We see violence in kids for any number of reasons. It could be because maybe they smoked cannabis. It could be because they have a history of bipolar disorder. They could be antisocial. There's any number of reasons that could contribute to violence, but we know that the best predictor of violence is a past history of violence.
Well, the police say there's a past history of violence here, and it came in the form of killing dad in 2023 on Valentine's Day. So this is amazing to me. It still leaves me shaking my head, because you kill dad, according to law enforcement, in 1 year, and then 18 months later, you're accused of killing your mom. It's unbelievable to me. Have you ever seen anything like that, Dr. Bober?
I have not. And you would think that after the first crime, which I guess the charges were dismissed, so he wasn't convicted of that crime. After the first event, I should say, you would think that there would have been better safeguards in place to prevent this from happening again. And it's really just a tragedy.
It is a tragedy. Well, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah, that is a tragedy, man. RIP to the dad and RIP to the mom, man. Anybody else that's going through a situation like this, man, I just feel like you have to just assert your dominance. Now, it might be too far gone. If they feel like they're gonna kill you, if you feel unsafe, I feel like you need to do whatever you need to do, even if that is your kid. You have to put yourself first, okay? What if you got other kids? So you're just gonna let this kid kill you, and now your other kids are in danger too? Or other family members? What if he killed them all? Now he's going after the grandma. I don't think that's possible because he's probably locked up now. I mean, he is in jail or in whatever. He's locked up, so that's probably not gonna happen. But I feel like you gotta, if you see your kid is too over the edge, excuse me, you gotta make that decision, man. Or at least I would. But on Breezy family, I'm gonna catch y'all. Appreciate y'all for watching.
They look at me and they making assumptions. I'll be the type to go stay in the function. She in my line, my number one munch. She like the way that I pull up and punch. I like to fill up my days with production. And then when the night comes, filled with seduction. Can't shake that feeling. I walk out on stage, I look at the crowd, these bitches is jumping. Keeping it cool, but I've been getting paid. I'm making it rain, I'm hauling they pain. Jumping the pool with my baby today. She won't go crazy, won't be my lady. Comfortable kid with my life on the low. She wanna post all the pick us on up. Don't wanna elevate, you gotta go. We can't be out here not chasing our goals. No, I ain't changed from no. I guess my past is slow. Yeah, I got my ass on the soul. Yeah. How do I got all this motion? I'm trying to stay mellow. Put on a show in the garden, I'm feeling like mellow. Think that I'm talking about like I'm double D and yellow. Now on the topic, I've been on my foot on the pedal. I started going my own way. Learned how to carry my own weight. My time was coming, so I started running. Just walked on coming, I ain't saying nothing. Back in the 7 good, I was just bumming. And now I be thumbing it out in the government. Give me a medal, I'm getting it done. She asking my high like a mellow or something. They be minding my business, they saying hello. Treating this life like a game, I just beat this level. Truly, I know that I'm blessed, I be feeling special. If you want to talk about hits, then I'm having several. I'm on a late night talk show, something like that low. I'm grabbing all the boys, you get in the elbow. My niggas been making noise, get you digging the memo. Yeah. Right when I talk, they repeat what I say, I'm hearing the echo. Yeah. Haven't been hitting the club, I'd rather go chill in the meadow. Shawty treat me like a king, I like being a pharaoh. I like being a pharaoh, and I can't never settle. My girl one day ain't she cool. I'm trying to pick out yellow or blue. How do I got all this motion, I'm trying to stay mellow. Put on a show in the garden, I'm feeling like mellow. Think that I'm talking about like I'm double D and yellow. Now on the topic, I've been on my foot on the pedal. I started going my own way. Learned how to carry my own weight. My time was coming, so I started running. Just walked on coming, I ain't saying nothing. Back in the 7 good, I was just bumming. And now I be thumbing it out in the government. Give me a medal, I'm getting it done. She asking my high like a mellow or something.